L.A.B. But me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome. You are here on Louie Tee live. Live and in color. Don't diss the man cause I'll bum rush your mother. Listen what I'm saying, I'm for real, I'm not playing. Louie Tee is the man, so hit your knees and start praying. What's good with y'all tonight, man? Sorry for the tardiness. This is what happens when you double and triple book yourself and you don't properly prepare yourself and you keep coming up with ideas for shows and you want to throw them in on the last second and you realize you don't have enough time. You don't. And that's what I did tonight. I actually started out the night doing a program, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all are fans of football like myself, there's a program, a channel on YouTube. Great production, man. They're Raider fans, and they just cover the Raiders. But if you're looking for some good content, I'm going to tell you what. They got some good stuff. It's called The Will to Win. W2W. Will to Win. Check those boys out on YouTube. I actually did a spot with them tonight. Did a little bit of an interview with them. It should be airing on their channel sometime this week. Looking forward to seeing that and continuing to watch their content because it's some really good stuff. So check those guys out, man. Will to Win is the YouTube channel. They're doing some great work. You want to talk about a well-produced show, all the graphics, all the bells and whistles. They've got it all. And they got some really good content as well. So they follow and cover the Raiders closely. Check those guys out. But I did that earlier today, so that kind of set me back a little bit. I ain't complaining, man. I love it. I love it all. Then I turned around, had my Redskins report live, and after that, had a couple of things I needed to iron out on this particular program, and I didn't have time to do it. So I just said to hell with it. I'm late as hell. Let's just jump on and do it, and all the things that I want to do, I'll do it next week. And so I had a lot more planned for us this week, but look, man, it's getting late. People got to go to work in the morning. I don't want to keep you guys here too long, and it's already 10:30. I was supposed to be here an hour ago. So, you know what? I said I'll just jump on tonight, do it this way, and then next week I'll have more bells and whistles for you. And, yeah, all of that good stuff. But in any event, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome to the Louie Tee Network. I, of course, am your man, Louie Tee. Subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and into the future. We do it all here on Louie Tee Live. Gonna have a blast as we always do on Wednesday nights. I got so many big things planned for us on this show. So like I said before, if there's one program that you're gonna watch on this channel, it should be Louie Tee Live. And I'm gonna start being prompt. Don't think that this is gonna be an every week occurrence where I'll be just showing up at a random time. 9:30 is the time that I set out and carved out for this show. 9:30 is the time that I'm generally gonna be up here. So I think I'll be able to have everything that I want done next week. So I should be on at 9:30 like I'm supposed to be. But we'll see what happens. I'm also on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And if you're on Twitter while you're watching this, use the hashtag Louie Tee Live to let your voice be heard. We're not doing phone calls this week. We'll do phone calls next week. But Louie Tee Live is the hashtag. You are watching via chat on YouTube. Use the hashtag Louie Tee Live as well. And I'm also on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Like the page. So let's jump into what I like to call looky. Let's take a look around the National Football League and look at all the outcomes of the games in week 2. And then we'll take an even deeper look as we'll take a look at your picks and mine. Let's jump into Lucky. All right, so let's take a look around the league, shall we? Looky what we have here. So we start on Thursday night last week, and The Jets got it done on the road. Didn't see that one coming. Some of you, probably most of you did. I probably was in the wrong for thinking that the Bills would turn it around. But hey, they had beat the Jets 5 times in a row. Can you blame me for thinking they were going to get it done? Did you see that high-scoring affair coming? I surely didn't. The Jets were able to put up 37. The Bills put up 31. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't see either one of these teams hitting the 30-point threshold in that game, and both crossed it. So that was a little bit of a surprise there. But the Bills dropped to 0-2. Season looks to be a little in disarray. They fired their offensive coordinator. So I guess they needed a scapegoat. He happened to be it. And so they'll move forward with a new offensive coordinator. We'll see if anything changes. I don't know if Greg Roman was actually to blame for all of the ills in Buffalo or not. Look, when you go from one of the best teams at getting to the quarterback to one of the worst teams at getting to the quarterback, who is that to blame? The offensive coordinator? I don't know. You tell me. All I know is the offense scored 31 points and the defense gave up 37, and you fired the offensive coordinator. I don't know about that. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Baltimore, they fall down early to the Cleveland Browns, 20-0, before blocking an extra point, scooping and scoring and getting a deuce. How often do we see that happen? And not only do they do that, they run off 25 unanswered points to win the football game, 25-20. Poor Cleveland. You think you got something going, and you still find a way to blow it. They lose Josh McCown in the process. He's going to be out this week. So guess what? We get to see Cody Kessler this week for the Cleveland Browns. Who knew we'd already be on the 3rd Cleveland Browns quarterback going into week 3? Isn't that amazing? Wow. Baltimore goes to 2-0 on the season. They only won 5 games all of last season. So the Baltimore Ravens look to be back. Don't want to jump to conclusions, but good start for the Ravens to the 2016 season. Detroit Lions drop one on the road to the Tennessee Titans, drop one at the crib to the Tennessee Titans. Titans go on the road and win their first game of the season. This is a much improved Titans team, okay? They went on the road in a tough environment in Detroit and got a win. Poorly officiated football game, I don't care. The Titans found a way to win, and I got to give them credit, man. This team is much better than I thought they would be at this juncture of the season. They can run the football. Mariota looks a lot more comfortable than he did at any point last season in this offense under Mike Mularkey. And to add to that fact, the defense looks light years better than it was a season ago. They stopped the run very well. I think they still have some issues in that secondary, but they're not giving up a ton of points. Didn't give up a single offensive score in week 1 versus the Vikings. Granted, it was Sean Hill. And they only gave up 15 points in this game. Give the Titans some credit. Even though I thought the officials had a lot to do with that loss, the Titans went on the road and got it done, and their defense is much improved. They win. Tough loss for the Lions. Can't lose that football game at home to the Titans, yet you did. Leads me to believe that this is going to be another mediocre season for the Detroit Lions. New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins, Patriots jump all over the Dolphins 21-0 in the first 12 minutes of this ball game. Can you believe that? Jimmy Garoppolo was looking like Tom Brady out there slicing those boys before he went down with a shoulder injury. In comes Jacoby Brissett, and they hold on to the lead and beat the Dolphins in week number 1. 31-24. Dolphins made a furious comeback and had a chance to tie the game on the last snap, throwing a Hail Mary. It was incomplete. But how about the Patriots scoring points and getting on top of this Dolphins football team 31-3 at one point in this game? Yikes. Now, flip it on its head. How about the Patriots defense surrendering 21 unanswered points and allowing this to be a ball game? That was a crazy ball game. Patriots 2-0. Remember when we were saying they'd be lucky to get to 2-2? They're 2-0. They playing with house money now. I mean, if they win any more games without Brady, wow. I don't really know what to say, man. Big ups to Bill Belichick and his crew for getting these dudes to 2-0 in the first 2 games of the season without Tom B. Giants win at home versus New Orleans. Raise your hand if you thought that was going to be a shootout. I see your hands out there, man. You thought this was going to be a 35-38 type ball game. It was 16-13. Who saw that coming? Not I, not this guy. I surely thought that this was going to be one of those last teams with the football wins, which it ended up being last team with the football won. But I thought it was going to be one of those last team with the football wins, field goal beats the other team 41-38 or 38-35 type of deals. Not 16-13. Okay. Some turnovers, some defense. The Saints and defense in the same sentence? What? The Giants? Only 16 points? Huh? That was actually a funny game. Some mistakes were made on both teams' parts, but there were actually some really good defensive plays as well. At the end, the Giants found a way to get it done, moved to 2-0 in the season. Saints, tough luck for them early in the season, losing both games at the very end. They dropped to 0-2 on the season. Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Cincinnati Bengals in a tough, nasty, physical, hard-fought game in a very ugly climate and condition for football. Wet and nasty out in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field. The officials weren't on their A game in this game. A lot of blown calls. But again, don't put the officials in a position to help you lose a ball game. Okay, don't allow the officials to dictate the outcome of a game. You take matters into your own hands. It's similar to boxing and allowing the judges to have a say in the outcome. Knock your opponent out. Don't go to the scorecards because it's crooked when you allow the judges to have their way. Same thing in football. If you're the Detroit Lions, can't allow the officials to have their hand in the outcome. If you're the Cincinnati Bengals, don't fumble the football. Don't allow the officials to have their hands in the outcome of the game. Get the job done within the framework of the game so that the officials and their errant calls don't cost you a ball game. I thought it was a poorly officiated game, but the Steelers did enough to win in a sloppy environment over the Cincinnati Bengals. They get the job done. You go to the Washington Redskins and Dallas Cowboys. A hurt head for the Washington Redskins. I mean, a gut punch, losing to the Dallas Cowboys 27-23. Cowboys go to 1-1 on the season, get their first win, and Dak Prescott gets his first win. Tough, gritty performance by the Cowboys on the road. Redskins had ample opportunities to win this ball game, and they just failed to take advantage of opportunities. They dropped to 0-2, much like the Buffalo Bills and anybody else, Dolphins. You can reel off a bunch of teams, Jacksonville. They're in danger, New Orleans, in danger of seeing their season go down the drain before it even gets a chance to get started. Week 3 going to be huge for a number of teams looking for their first win of the season. The Redskins will be among those teams searching for their first W in 2016. Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers. Panthers jump out to a 31-10 lead in this game, which is what everybody expected. But what everybody didn't expect, or maybe they should have, was that the 49ers would close the gap to within 7 at 31 or 34-27. This is what the Panthers did all last season. Okay, they got out to big leads, start dancing, and no more dabbing. They're doing a new dance now, stopping and stuff. But then they blow leads. That's what they do. They get excited. They start dancing, handing footballs to the crowd, and they forget about the football game that's actually being played on the field. Let their foot off the gas pedal, let teams back in the ball game. They did it again. Then they promptly said, all right. We're sorry we gave you false hope, San Francisco. We're going to finish you off now. And they end up winning the game 46-27. Get their first win of the season. 49ers also dropped to 1-1 on the season. Kansas City Chiefs traveled to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans with another gritty performance. Wasn't pretty, just like week 1 wasn't pretty versus Chicago. But defensively, they forced turnovers like they did in week 1. They did enough on offense like they did in week 1. And much like they did in week 1, they found a way to win, go to 2-0 on the season. It was ugly, okay? Kansas City kicked 4 field goals. The Texans kicked 4 field goals. But in the end, they did score a touchdown, and the Chiefs didn't. That was the difference in the game. Texans win 19-12. Seattle at Los Angeles. Yikes. Let me say that again. Seattle at Los Angeles. Yikes. The Rams scored 9 points and they won. What? What? Yes. 9 points. For the Saints fans out there, for the Redskin fans out there, for the Jaguar fans out there, for the Bills fans out there, for all the teams that's 0-2, man. Life isn't fair. Okay? The Los Angeles Rams haven't scored an offensive touchdown this year. Yet they have a win. And there are a bunch of 0-2 teams around here that have scored a bunch of points this year, and they don't have a win to their name. Where's the justice? No justice, no peace. I'm here to raise hell, man. How do they have a win and they have 9 points to their name in 2 games? Utter ridiculousness, man. Utter ridiculousness. And how the hell Seattle only scores 3? Beyond me. I'm going to tell you right now, the Los Angeles Rams are Seattle's kryptonite. They just know how to play them. They just know how to beat them. I don't know why. I don't know how. I used to rationalize this by saying they got an aggressive and very athletic defense, and they give Russell Wilson fits. That's not it. That's not the end-all, be-all. There's some kind of psychological edge that they have over the Seattle Seahawks, and I can't explain it. But the Seahawks, and I know Russell Wilson was on one leg. He had a bum ankle going into the game. 3 points is inexcusable, okay? They probably could have put in the young fella from TCU or whoever the hell they got at backup, and they probably could have got more than 3 points in this game. And it wasn't Russell Wilson's fault, okay? He played good enough for them to win this game. I just can't explain why they can't beat the Los Angeles Rams. They swept them, the Rams did, last year. And now they're up on these boys again, 1-0, with a chance to go to Seattle yet again and sweep them for the second consecutive year. Who knew that 9 points would be enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks? And if you're a Seahawks fan, you better start being a little concerned. 2 games, a total of 15 points scored for the Seattle Seahawks. 12, barely winning. Scoring 12 in week 1 and losing and only scoring 3 in week 2. Rough start. But at least you're not 0-2. You're 1-1. Big win for the Rams. It was ugly. It was gritty. But when you get a W, it's always pretty. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay. Damn it, man. If we were doing a mercy this week, I'd be asking for some mercy for you. 40-7. I've told you, man, some teams go out to the desert, and the Arizona Cardinals, they beat you up. They go out, they bury you out in the sand, never for your body to be found again. That's what they did to the Buccaneers, boy. They ripped them to shreds, took them out to the desert, and put them under the sand, man. You can't smell them. There's no trace of the Buccaneers. You didn't even know a game was played on Sunday. They ended those boys quickly, quietly, and left without a trace. What the hell happened there? Don't ask me. I don't know. But, like I said before, as bad as that was, they're still 1-1 on the season. Only counts as 1 loss. Arizona needed a bounce back win after that disappointing showing versus the Patriots. They got it in a major way. 40-7 over the Bucs. This was a game that I was really interested in because I said, are the Bucs for real? Are they ready for the show? Are they ready to take that next step? Here's a big test on the road against a real football team. Can they go out? I didn't expect them to win. Let's not get crazy now. But I said, can they go out there and score 24, 27? Show me they for real. They're not ready yet. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Denver at home versus Indianapolis. Really good football game. If not for the defensive touchdowns of the Broncos, maybe the Colts steal this game. But Andrew Luck made a costly mistake. And then Andrew Luck was stripped of the football. Aqib Talib takes one to the crib. Shane Ray takes one to the crib. And the Broncos win by that 2-score margin, 34-20. Colts are 0-2. And despite all the injuries, they could easily be 2-0 in the season right now. Let one slip away at home versus Detroit in week 1. And they had an opportunity in this game. They were tied at 13 in this game in the third quarter before things began to unravel for them in this ball game. Oakland at Atlanta, Atlanta at the Oakland Raiders. Raiders had a shot, and this is the same thing I talked about with this team last season. Opportunity to do some damage. Remember last year, they had an opportunity to put themselves 2 games over 500 with a win over the Bears early in the season. They couldn't go on the road and beat the Bears. They had another opportunity later in the season to go 2 games over 500, beat the Steelers on the road. They could not do it. They never saw over 500 again in that season. Fast forward to this year. They're 1-0. Got a chance to go 2 games over 500. Haven't done that in quite some time. Here's an opportunity. And even better than the opportunities last year, you're at home this time against a Falcons team that wants to give it up. And what did they do? They gave it up. That is, the Raiders gave it up. They gave up 34 last week to the New Orleans Saints in an improbable victory, going for 2 at the end, stealing that game from the Saints. They give up another 30 spot, this time 35, giving up 69 points, second most in the league right now, only behind the Indianapolis Colts, who gave up 39 in week 1, 34 in week 2 for a whopping total of 73. This Raiders defense struggling right now. When they had opportunities in this game, they weren't able to get it done. The Falcons get back on track. This was a really good performance by Matt Ryan. He did make some mistakes in the game, did throw an interception, could have thrown another one, but he got the job done. And when they needed a third down conversion at the end to bleed the clock, they got it. Big win on the road for the Falcons. Let's see if this gives them a little bit of momentum going into Monday night, taking on the New Orleans Saints, a place where they struggle on primetime on Monday Night Football. Should be a really good matchup. Both teams leave that game at 1-1. San Diego Superchargers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. What in the hell was that, Jacksonville? My goodness. After 2 quarters, 21-0. After 3 quarters, 35-0. Ouch. We thought the Jags were building something. They came close to beating the Green Bay Packers in week 1. The NFL admitted to over 15 missed calls in that game. So you say to yourself, okay, maybe the officials cost us that game. Let's go on the road and go get one against the Chargers. They're 0-1. Let's go beat them. Huh? You said what? Go beat who? Oh, okay. Wow. 35-14. Chargers could have scored 50 if they wanted to. They called off the dogs in the fourth quarter. Yikes. Let me just give you the first 6 possessions for the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game. You ready? Or 5 or 6, give or take. You ready? This is how you lose 35-14. This is how it's 35-0 after 3 quarters. This is how it's 21-0 after 2 quarters. Punt on the first possession. Blake Bortles' interception on the second possession. Missed field goal on the third possession. Blake Bortles' fumble on the fourth possession. Blake Bortles' interception on the 5th possession. If that's not losing football, I don't know what is. Good job, San Diego, for taking care of a team that played like garbage, way to take those boys and put them in the trash and get your first W on the season. Minnesota at home opening up US Bank Stadium, taking on the Green Bay Packers. A little bit of NFC North family business. If these two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. And if they did, come on now, you know, that's family business. Packers, stagnant on offense. Risky, questionable call in the third quarter. Mike McCarthy going for it on 4th and 1 from the 14 instead of kicking the field goal and tying the game up at 10. You lose this game by 3 points. I thought that was a bad decision when he made it. It loomed even larger and looked like an even worse decision at the game's conclusion, losing by 3. Big win for the Vikings. Costly win for the Vikings. Adrian Peterson down with an injury. We later find out torn meniscus. Also torn LCL. Gonna miss a substantial amount of time. Up to a month, possibly up to as much as 2 months. Could be done for the season when it's all said and done. We'll see how they address that situation. He's no longer a spring chicken. This isn't the 2012 Adrian Peterson that was 27 years old that could just bounce back. This is 31-year-old Adrian Peterson. Big difference. 4 years, huge difference. We'll see what happens with that injury and how it impacts this Vikings football team. But they get the win, 17-14. Big win. Sam Bradford looked great. Can he continue that kind of football, and can they keep him healthy? They lose left tackle Matt Khalil for the remainder of the season. He's done. Very costly win. 2 big-time starters for the Vikings on the offensive side of football could be staring at a whole season in terms of injuries and missed time. We'll see what happens with Adrian Peterson. Bears. The Bears at home versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Bears puked all over themselves in the second half. Jay Cutler, like I said, he's a loser. And they lost this game. Jay Cutler throws an interception. Jay Cutler fumbles and then promptly exits the game with a hurt hand. He'll be out the next 3 to 4 weeks with a hurt hand. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. You know why? Because it's time to move on from Jay Cutler. That's why. And so the Bears lose 29-13 or 14. Carson Wentz looked damn good in this game, much like he did in week 1 versus the Browns. But now he's going to get a real test. Pittsburgh Steelers coming to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Now we're going to find out what Carson Wentz is really made of, because even if he performs well, can't babysit a league this week. You're going to have to score 30-plus to win against this Steelers team that can score points in bunches. So we'll see how that shakes itself out as well. So that's our look around week number 2 in the National Football League. Now, let's get to something I like to call Louie Tee versus the world. Are you ready? Because I am.
Of the world, Craig. Shit, not just the city, the world.
Louie Tee versus the world. Come get some.
I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
All right. So I want to get to some of your comments before we jump into Louie Tee versus the world. The world, Craig. That's right. See what you guys got to say. Protect428 says, do you think that the Skins will win Sunday, bro? I already talked about that on the Redskins Report Live. Gave you my answer. I'm going to give it to you again, though. Stick around. Stay tuned. I will tell you what I think the Redskins will do on Sunday. Brown Shoes T2 says, I'm here to hold my big fat L for the last 2 weeks of picks. Oh, you know, I'm going to tell you a new asshole. Okay, if you come here with your lackluster picks and you post them up on the discussion board, oh, yes, indeed. You open yourself up to getting chastised, to getting your ass blasted. I'm putting everybody on blast. If you don't get double digits, I'll let you hear about it. Because you know the rules to the game. Hashtag double digit wins. Hashtag if you can't get double digits, Don't even talk to me. So I'm about to check these numbers out real quick and see what y'all. And you know what, Brown Shoe? You was talking a lot of trash, cold hard trash last year too. Oh man, and we doing the big pool next year. We doing the big one for the big bucks. Oh, it's gonna be big next year. So y'all better get all this stinking, funky nastiness out the way now, because it's for the big bucks next year. For all y'all trash talkers, all y'all prognosticators that think y'all got this thing figured out, that keep going 8-8, 9-7, 7-9. Oh yeah, I'm about to dog y'all. Oh yeah, it's on. Cubone football. It may be too early to ask, but who do you think will win Rookie of the Year on offense? You know who I like right now? To me, it's a two-man race right now. And it may change. It's a long season. We're only 2 games in. But I like 2 receivers right now for that distinction. You've got Sterling Shepard in New York and Will Fuller in Houston. Fuller is scoring a touchdown every week, it seems like. He's putting up monster numbers. He's a big play waiting to happen every week. Every week. If he can just hold on to the football, he's going to be up there in receiving yards. He might eclipse 1,000 this year. He's that good. Okay, so between him and Sterling Shepard, Shepard had over 100 yards this week versus the Saints. He's another guy to look out for. There's a number of guys that can come off the pace and do some things offensively, but those are the 2 right now that have stuck out over the first 2 weeks of the season. Bobby says, Rookie of the Year, Laramie Tunsil. It's rare to see an offensive lineman get that award. It's just hard. Cubone Football says, I feel like the Rams won because Russell Wilson wasn't fully healthy. That could be the case, but I'm going to tell you right now, he still did his thing. And no, he couldn't run around, but he never runs around on that Rams defense. Never. So I don't know if the ankle really played a part in it or not, because he threw the ball well. Go look at his numbers. If I watched the game, he threw the football well from the pocket. He did. They had some costly penalties. They made some mistakes. They didn't take advantage of some opportunities. I just think they're not playing good football on the offensive side of the football right now. They didn't play well offensively versus the Dolphins in week 1. I didn't think they were that sharp in this game. They had opportunities. Tyler Lockett had a big game. They had some opportunities. I didn't think they did much with the opportunities that they had. Give some credit to the Rams defense. All right, let's see. Who Dat for Life says, poor choices are why my Saints are 0-2. Both losses by a total of 4 points. It's rough, man. When you lose games close at the end, it's rough. You lose a 1-pointer to Oakland in week 1, a 3-pointer to New York in week 2. 4 points is the margin of error, and that's how small the margin of error is in this league. A mistake here, a mistake there, a missed opportunity here, and I don't like your field goal kicker, man. To me, that's why you're 0-2 right now. He missed a kick against the Raiders, and then missed the one at the end of the game, but he should have made one earlier in the game. And then he has one blocked against the Giants that accounted for the only touchdown that they scored in this ball game. I'm just saying, Will Lutz looks like a klutz. That's all I'm going to say to you. All right. Moving right along. Cubone says, Cutler, hashtag Cutler the loser. Yeah, that's where I'm at with mine right now. Sanchez 11 says, what loss of an injured player of the last week or so might have a lesser impact than the player's name might suggest? Let's see. I'm thinking about some of the injuries. You got the Adrian Peterson injury, of course. And maybe that's who you had in mind when you said that. I can't really think of any more injuries. I know Josh McCown injured himself. Doug Martin went down in Tampa. I can't really think of any more injuries. Cutler went down, but it's Jay Cutler. If I had to pick one, I'd say the one injury that I don't think is going to make that big of a difference, that you assume it would, but I'm not really sure if it will, is Adrian Peterson. And here's why. They didn't run it in week 1. They won. Now, it was the Titans, granted. But they didn't run it well in week 1. Titans shut down the run game. They didn't run it well against the Packers in week 2. Okay, before he got injured, what was his numbers? Like 12 carries, 17 yards, something like that. I mean, he hasn't been successful this year. So you take him out of the mix, and it's going to impact the way teams play them. I don't want to make it seem like his impact won't be felt and his presence won't be missed, because it will. But on paper, you say Adrian Peterson, oh man, the Vikings are in trouble. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, though. We'll see. We'll see. There were some injuries. I'm probably missing a couple more, but those are the ones that come to my mind. And of the injuries, McCown, Cutler, Doug Martin, Adrian Peterson, their left tackle went down. That's a big injury, you would think. They already have issues on the offensive line, and Matt Khalil goes down. You got to think that that's going to be an issue for them too, but I'd have to go with Adrian Peterson. RG3, hashtag smoking at 3, hashtag 1000, hashtag dog pound, hashtag 1716 MVP says, I never knew Trent Williams ran a 4.8 at the combine. It's some athletes out there, man. Some athletes. Some big athletes in this league. You know, you'd be surprised. Teron Armstead, tackle for the Saints, ran in the 4.7s, man. There's some athletes, man. These guys are getting bigger, faster, stronger, man. Some athletes in this league, man. Big time. Brian Emerson says, man, 2 weeks in a row at 9-7, I need to step my predictions up. You're damn right you do, BE. You're damn right you do, but you're knocking on the door of double digits. Maybe this will be the week you break through. We'll see. Protect428 says, I counted my picks. I should be 10-6 like week 1. We'll see. We're about to get to that in a second. Andrew Kim says, your opinion on the Ronnie Hillman signing with the Vikings. You lose Adrian Peterson. You need another back in there. You got Matt Asiata. You got the secret weapon. Shh. Don't tell nobody about Jerick McKinnon. And then you needed to add another piece to the puzzle. You throw in Ronnie Hillman. He's not going to see the field that often. I think they're comfortable with the 2 guys that they have. He's just an insurance policy. He may see the field just a little bit, but I think they're comfortable with the 2 guys that they have in Asiata and the secret weapon known as Jerick McKinnon. Remember, these 2 had to carry the load in 2014 when Adrian Peterson was suspended. So it's not like they didn't have practice doing this already. They've done this before. They should be fine filling in for him in that role. Who Dat for Life says, exactly. Sean chose a rookie kicker when we already had 2 kickers battling during camp, but only to release both. One of those bad choices. That's right. Life's all about choices. And so is coaching. It's all about choices and decisions you make. Every single choice and decision you make in your life impacts your life in some form or fashion. Every decision a coach makes impacts the team, the roster, and the game in some form or fashion. You chose to let 2 veteran kickers walk and bring a no-name. Now again, sometimes these things work out. Other times they backfire. This is one of those times where I think that decision may have cost you 2 games on this season already. We will see. All right. Let's jump into Louie Tee versus the world. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off my picks. I went 10-6. Am I proud of 10-6? Hell no. But is that double digits? You're damn right it is. And that's all I know is double digits. I don't know anything else. So y'all got to get with the program, man. On my worst week, I will never fall below the Mendoza line. And that's 500. Because it's going to be a stinker in there somewhere. I'm good for at least one of those a year. 8-8, 7-7. It's coming. All right? But not now. Not now. Not early in the season. You're not going to catch me with one of those stinkers until like week 6 or week 7. Somewhere in there. Some upsets, a couple of games you didn't expect. Some bye weeks. So you don't have as many opportunities to make up for some of those stinkers. That's when you're going to catch me slipping and get me on some 7-7 nonsense. But when there's 16 games on the slate, oh, you best believe your man Louie Tee's coming through with a double-digit winner. So let me give you my picks real quick for week 2 in the National Football League. I lost the first game on Thursday night. I hate losing Thursday night football. Puts me in a tough spot. Picked the Buffalo Bills. They lost. I picked Baltimore. They won. I picked Detroit. That was my sole survivor. You know, I was salty. I was salty. I was salty at the fact that the Tennessee Titans went in and beat Detroit. I didn't know who to be more mad at, the officials, the Titans, or the damn Lions for losing that game. Just like that, I'm out of my own survivor pool. I tried to be too damn cute. Oh, I want to set up picks. I should have picked the goddamn Panthers. I second-guessed myself. I said, I'm going to pick the Panthers later. I'm going to put the Panthers in my back pocket for later. Everybody else going to use them now. I'm going to have a Panthers down the road later when nobody else got one. I'm going to have one. Now you got nothing, dummy. So that was my second loss. Picked the Patriots. They won. I picked the Giants. They won. I picked the Steelers. They won. I picked my boys for the second consecutive week, and for the second consecutive week, they kicked me in my ass. It's my third loss. Picked the Redskins. Picked the Panthers. They won. I picked the Texans. They won. I picked the Seahawks. 3 points? Really, guys? Really? I should have known better. The Rams just know how to beat those boys. I lost that game. That's my fourth loss. I picked the Cardinals. They won. I picked the Raiders. They lost. That's my fifth loss. I picked the Chargers. They won. I picked the Vikings. They won. I picked the Bears. The Bears. Probably won't be picking them many more times this season. They lost for my sixth and final loss for a record of 10-6. Let's get to your picks, though. That's what I want to get to. I know I went 10-6. I know that. What did you guys do? Did anybody beat me this week? I'm going to find out. We're going to see. Maybe somebody did. I expect somebody to have went 11-5. It wasn't that hard of a week, really. I made it harder than it had to be. I picked the Jets, okay? I went and I picked the Raiders. Maybe I thought the Raiders were going to win, so I'm not mad about that. I picked the Redskins. So I'm pretty sure somebody could have went 12-4. That's not inconceivable. If you picked everything I picked except the Redskins and except the Bills, you should have went 12-4. Why not? Wasn't that hard of a week. Let's see. We start with Eduardo O'Neal. Bills, lost. Panthers, Cowboys, Steelers, Patriots, Lions, lost 2. Saints, lost 3. Seahawks, lost 4. Texans, Ravens, Bucks, lost 5. Chargers, Raiders, lost 6. Colts, lost 7. Packers, lost 8. Eagles, 8-8 for Eduardo O'Neal. Barely, and I mean barely, at the Mendoza line. Ugh, that's nasty. Flash, good win. Let's see what Flash is talking about. Bills, lost. Panthers, Ravens, Lions, lost. That's 2. Texans, Patriots, Giants, Steelers, Redskins, lost. That's 3. Bucks, lost. That's 4. Seahawks, lost. That's 5. Broncos, Raiders, lost. That's 6. Jaguars, lost. That's 7. Packers, lost. That's 8. Eagles, 8-8 for Mr. Flash. Good win. That's nasty. I'm loving this so far. I'm up. Somebody gonna put me down or what? Andrew Kim, my man Andrew Kim. Let's see what Andrew did. Jets, Panthers, Ravens, Lions, lost. That's 1. Chiefs, lost. That's 2. Pats, Giants, Steelers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Seahawks, lost. That's 3. Broncos, Raiders, lost. That's 4. Jags, lost. That's 5. Packers, lost. That's 6. Eagles, 10-6 for Andrew Kim. Welcome to the 10-up club, man. Double digits for Mr. Andrew Kim. Welcome to the club, man. What's up? Protect 4-8. Jets, Redskins lost. That's 1. Bears lost. That's 2. Packers lost. That's 3. Jags lost. That's 4. Raiders lost. That's 5. Ravens, Lions lost. That's 6. Broncos, Panthers, Pats, Steelers, Texans, Seahawks lost. That's 7. Cardinals. You told me a story, man. You told me you were 10-6. You were 9-7. That's not double-digit worthy, man. Step your game up. Come on, Tones. Trying to bamboozle your way to 10 wins, man. How dare you? Nick Riley. See what Nick at Night did. Bills. Lost. That's 1. Steelers, Lions, lost. That's 2. Ravens, Redskins, lost. That's 3. Saints, lost. That's 4. Panthers, Patriots, Texans, Seahawks, lost. That's 5. Cardinals, Jags, lost. That's 6. Raiders, lost. That's 7. Broncos, Vikings, Eagles, 9-7 for Nick Riley. So only me and Andrew Kim are part of the illustrious, elusive, double-digit club. My man Sean Hawk. See what Sean Hawk did in week number 2 in the National Football League. Bills, lost. That's 1. Panthers, Ravens, Lions, lost. That's 2. Texans, Patriots, Giants, Steelers, Redskins, lost. That's 3. Cardinals, his sole survivor pick, got it done for him. Seahawks, lost. That's 4. Broncos, Raiders, lost. That's 5. Chargers, Packers, lost. That's 6. Bears, lost. That's 7. 9-7 for Mr. Hawk. Again, another one bites the dust. Now, 9-7 isn't bad. Just remember, it's not double digits, and that's 1 loss away from the Mendoza line. Little too close for my liking, if I may say so myself. Brown Shoe T2, Mr. I got this. And he was embarrassed. He already, before, you know it's bad when somebody warn you before you look. Hey man, it's bad. I'm just saying, I'm embarrassed. So, because he already admitted how bad it was, I'm going to take it easy on him. Unless it's really bad. Then I won't be so nice. Jets win. So, he got off to a good start. Giants, or he had Saints. That's 1 loss. Lions, lost. That's 2. Redskins, lost. That's 3. Chiefs, lost. That's 4. Dolphins, lost. That's 5. Ravens, Panthers, Bengals, lost. That's 6. Cardinals, Seahawks, lost. That's 7. Raiders, lost. That's 8. Uh-oh. Someone's in trouble. Jags, 9. Uh-oh. Broncos, Packers, 10. Bears, 11. Oh! 5-11. That's doo-doo. Oh, my God. That's embarrassing. You're right. That is embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you call yourself a prognosticator? Really? 5-11? Wow. That's stunning. That's bad. That's... I need to take a breath. Hold on. I need a sip. I need a sip of something. Wow. 5-11? Ouch. Ouch. Ow. I'm hurting and I didn't even make those picks. Carmen Rana. Bills, lost. That's 1. Panthers, Ravens, Lions, lost. That's 2. Texans, Patriots, Giants, Bengals, lost. That's 3. Redskins, lost. That's 4. Cardinals, Seahawks, lost. That's 5. Broncos, Raiders, lost. That's 6. Jags, lost. That's 7. When y'all gonna get off this goddamn Jags train? Packers, lost. That's 8. Bears, lost. That's 9. Oh, below the Mendoza line. 7-9 for Carmen Rana. Ugh, yuck. Ugh. Ugh. Gotta get that nasty taste out of your mouth. At least you were better than Brown Shoe. You weren't 5-11. That's the floor right there. Can't nobody get lower than that right there. Get low, get low, get low, get low. Don't nobody get lower than 5-11. I promise you. That's gonna be the low mark for the week. Pure chaos. Bills, lost. That's 1. Panthers, Ravens, Titans, lost. Wait, Titans won. Good job. Texans, Patriots, Giants, Steelers. He's looking good. Hold on. Let me run back through these again. Bills, lost. That's 1. Panthers, Ravens, Titans, Texans, Patriots, Giants, Steelers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Rams. Shit. Broncos, Raiders, lost. That's 2. Chargers, Packers, 13-3. Okay, somebody kicking some ass. Pure chaos. Right now, the winner this week in the lab room. Okay. And from this week moving forward, we're going to start honoring the person that comes in first here on Louie Tee Live. Your efforts will not go unnoticed. Pure chaos, 13-3. Right now, the high mark. Did he pick all the games? God damn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You damn right he did. 13-3. Bravo, God damn it. Bravo. Damn it, man. Put me to shame. Gotta step my game up now. I got motivation. Strumphy. Bills. That's 1. Panthers, Ravens, Titans, Texans, Patriots, Giants, Steelers, Cowboys. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this the same person? I think it is. Same exact picks. Typed the same exact way. Someone's trying to bamboozle me. So Pure Chaos and Strumpy, I'm guessing, are the same person. 13-3, same exact losses. Typed the same exact way. That was a copy and paste job. Nice try. Can't get credit twice. But hell, 13-3, damn, you held it down. Brian Emerson, my man B.E. And I appreciate you just putting the winners. Yes, it is easier to read. Jets, Panthers, Ravens, Lions. Oh my, that's 1. Texans, Patriots, Saints, that's 2. Bengals, that's 3. Redskins, that's 4. Cardinals, Seahawks, that's 5. Denver, Raiders, that's 6. Jags, that's 7. Vikings and Eagles. Yes, you were 9-7, like you said. See, I got to check behind y'all because my man Protect, my man Tones told me he was 10-6. He was 9-7. So I got to check behind y'all like some little kids. Yeah, I'm going to check behind y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Don't be pissing all over the seat and think I ain't going to check behind you and make sure you clean it up. Big Blue View. Jets, Panthers, Redskins, that's 1. Browns, that's 2. Chiefs, that's 3. This is getting ugly. Lions, that's 4. Steelers, G-Men, Patriots, Seahawks, that's 5. Broncos, Raiders, that's 6. Cardinals, Jags, that's 7. Vikings, Bears, that's 8. 8-8 for Big Blue View. Mendoza line, awfully close. Awfully close. Step your game up. Step your game up. Sanchez, 11. Jets, Giants, Lions, that's 1. Redskins, that's 2. Chiefs, that's 3. Patriots, Browns, that's 4. Panthers, Bengals, that's 5. Cardinals, Seahawks, that's 6. Falcons, Jags, 7. Colts, 8. Packers, 9. Bears, 10. Oh, a double-digit loser. Another one. Ouch. Yikes. What are you guys doing? Colts? Jaguars? Really, Browns? You were asking for 10 losses. What are you doing? Gotta be better, Sanchez, 11. At least you weren't 5-11. But damn it, you were close. Double-digit losses? That's for losers. But guess what I do? I let the losers worry about losing, man. I don't use that word too often, man. You and Brown Shoe, y'all go down there. Y'all talk about what y'all did last week, because that was disgraceful. Talk amongst yourselves and fix it in week 3. Teddy Roachless. Let's see what he did. And this is the last one for week 2. Okay, so he turned these in 3 days ago. Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. I'll let him slide. But you know I'm docking him for Thursday. He said he had the Jets. I don't believe you. You need more people. That's 1 loss. Skins, that's 2 losses. Steelers, Lions, 3. Ravens, Giants, Panthers, Patriots, Chiefs, 4. Seahawks, 5. Cardinals, Jags, 6. Packers, 7. Bears, 8 for Teddy. Teddy goes 8-8, another Mendoza line straddler. So, only 3, counting myself, double-digit members this week. Y'all should be ashamed of y'all damn self. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of y'all, and only 2 of y'all, excluding myself, were able to get the double digits. Hell, there was as many double-digit losers as they were winners. How's that for parity? That's funky, guys. Clean it up. Clean it up. Or I'm going to run away with this thing. But this week's winner, hats off. God damn it. Pure chaos. Got my head spinning. Yeah, that's pure chaos right there. 13-3. That's some big boy numbers, man. That's big boy talk. You got my attention. I'm coming after your ass next week. I'm not happy about that. Nobody takes me down in my house. That was embarrassing too. You beat me by 3 whole games. It won't happen again. Trust me. I'm coming back for my crown next week. Pure chaos, everybody. Give it up. They're the winner this week on Louie Tee Live. Pure chaos. Next week, I'm going to have the crown. I'm going to have a whole big deal next week for the winner. All the bells and whistles. Pure chaos held it down. For all of you who were under double digits, step your game up. Or else I'm going to embarrass you up here, man. We ain't here to play no games. Come with your A game or don't come at all. So, that's Louie Tee Live. Let's read some of your comments, man. Let's go to some of your comments, man. Let's get to some of these, and then we're going to move on to the next topic of discussion tonight. See what we got. All right. Brian Emerson says, LOL, if the Seahawks win, I win 10 games. Well, they didn't win, okay? This is what a wise man once told me. If and buts were candy and nuts, oh, what a wonderful world it would be. Let me say that again. If and buts were candy and nuts, oh, what a wonderful world it would be. They didn't win, and you did win 9 games. Step your game up, B.E. C. Abraham Lopez says, Deion Jones ranked 8th top rookie. Huh. Who knew? Protect428 says, so there, LOL. Check my blog, bro. I picked the Chargers on my blog. Well, you didn't pick your Chargers on my discussion board. Okay? Okay, Tones? Don't try to get smart with me. You're the one that told me you went 10-6. On my discussion page, you went 9-7. Protect sports. All right? Step your game up. Don't be changing picks on my discussion board. And they want to refer to your page. Buddy. That's why I got the evidence, the proofs in the pudding. Okay? That's why I got y'all to put your picks down on wax, on paper, for everybody to see. Can't run. Can't hide. I love it. All right. See what we got. Protect428 says, 5-11, what the F? Oh, hell no, LOL. Got to get the F out of here, bro. Yeah, I know, right? Ow! There is no explanation. There is nothing you can say to justify 5-11. You were trying to be special, and you ended up being special. There's a difference. Let me say that again so y'all can catch the difference. You tried to be special, and you ended up being special. 5-11 is so funky. Ugh. I don't even know how you get that taste out of your mouth. Toothpaste not gonna do it. Mouthwash isn't gonna do it. I don't know how you get that taste out of your mouth, man. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I couldn't sleep at night if I went 5-11. I would wake up in cold sweats. Jax. Oh, Saints. Redskins. Oh, it was just a dream. 5-11. Gotta be better than that, man. Oh, my goodness. Gotta be better than that. Let's see. Strumpy says, yeah, I switched my YouTube account from Strumpy to Pure Cat. I knew what you did. I'm a smart guy, man. I'm a smart guy. I can figure things out. Everything can't be capitalized the same lowercase, same order, same losses. It looked too suspicious. I knew what was up. It's all good, man. It's still 13-3. You still were the best. You still was the best. Better than all the rest. I'm going to get your ass next week. I promise. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. Brian Emerson says, I'm planning to go 16-0 for my week 3 predictions. # bold statements. Don't do that, BE. Don't do that. Look, you can't go from 9-7. That's like the Raiders saying, hey, we win in the Super Bowl this year. Make the playoffs first, man. Get double digits first, then talk crazy. But I like it. I like it. Shoot for the stars, man. People don't set their bar and their goals high enough for themselves in life. Set it up there pretty high. Just know that when you don't make it, you got something to attain and strive for, okay? How do I send mine? You got to use the hashtag. I'm going to let you slide because you're asking a question. Go to my discussion, and I appreciate y'all helping the dudes out in the discussion box. But go into my discussion. You can go on my Facebook page. This is why you're supposed to like my Facebook page. Go to my Facebook page, and it says, play the game. Click on that tab. It'll take you straight to my discussion page where you will then leave your picks. Or you can just go to my YouTube channel. It'll say discussions at the top. Click on that tab. Put your picks there. That's where you have your picks recognized. Sanchez11 says, easy week, getting at least 12 wins this time. Doubling it up. Hey, that's bold, especially when you go 6-10. But if you double it up, as long as you won behind me, I don't give a damn what you do. But I'm going for gold. I'm going for the gusto this week. I just want you to get to 10, Sanchez. I just want you to get to double digits so we can talk. We're not friends right now. I don't know you, man. You were below the Mendoza line. It's an echo down there. Hello. Is anybody home? Oh. I can't even see you right now, man. It's dark down there. I don't go down there. It's dark. It's scary. All right. That being said, let's move on to the next topic of discussion. The College Corner. Alrighty. Before we jump into the College Corner, I'm going to check Twitter because I've been neglecting my responsibilities to check and see if there are any comments. My man BE at hit_man1995 says, man, 2 weeks in a row at 9-7. I need to step my damn game up. That you do, BE. And I have confidence that you will. See if anybody else has any comments. I'll check my mentions. Nope, no mentions. All right, so let's get back down to business. All right. So college football, told you I've been into college a little bit this year, keeping my eye on it a lot closer than I have in the past. And thus, I know that a lot of you watch college football as well. So I said, why the hell not? Let's dibble and dabble on a little bit of college talk. So I'll quickly run over the top 25 and some happenings last week. And then we'll move on to our final topic this week and get out of here. So, Alabama remains number one this week. They're taking on Kent State at home. And quickly to recap, we had 3 teams knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten last week. Iowa, Oregon, and Notre Dame all losing. And what did I tell you about Iowa last week? They were playing North Dakota State at home. And I said, look, North Dakota State is a monster. Watch out for those boys. They may be 1AA, but they're nasty. Okay? They'll jump up and bite you. They've beaten 6 consecutive ranked opponents. Have the North Dakota Bison. North Dakota State Bison. And they knocked off number 13 Iowa and sent them from the ranked world. So, Bama's number one. They remain number one. Big win over Ole Miss. They were down 24-3, come roaring back and end up winning that game pretty handily against Ole Miss. They're playing Kent State at home in this week of college football. Louisville at Marshall on the road, taking on the Thundering Herd. They should win that football game. Big win for Louisville over the weekend. Destroying, dismantling, use any adjective you want for what they did to Florida State. The Jackson kid looks legit, and he looks like a real Heisman candidate. Right now, he's head and shoulders above everyone else. 63 points, the most put on Florida State in the school's program history. Yikes. Blowout, ugly loss. Jumps Louisville all the way from 10 to 3 in the rankings. Penn State at number 4, Michigan. For the love of everything in this world, how is Michigan playing a 4th consecutive home game? What's with these people allowing them to play every game at home? Forget about it. Why don't you just let them play their entire schedule at home? Forget about it. And I'm pretty sure that they earned this, that they went on the road last year and the year before that, and this is a home and away series with all these teams. I don't give a damn. Don't schedule them all back to back then. 4 home games to start the season? Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Number 5, Clemson at Georgia Tech on a Thursday. Much like last week when we had an intriguing game. Remember, Houston, number 6 Houston was at Cincinnati on Thursday last week, and I told you that was going to be intriguing football, and it was. Cincinnati was leading going into the 4th quarter of that game before Houston ran off 28 unanswered points and won that football game 40-16. It looked a lot worse on the scoreboard than this game really was. So this Thursday could be the repeat of that. This could be a really intriguing game. Georgia Tech undefeated on the season. ACC play. They're at home. Clemson hasn't looked all that impressive, even though they spanked South Carolina State. Maybe they got their mojo back. Score was 45-0 at halftime. It was so bad that they agreed, both teams agreed, to take the clock from 15 to 12 minutes in the second half. That's when you know you're getting your ass beat. When you say, hey, all right. I don't even want to play full quarters anymore. Let's shorten this game up. I got things to do. Number 6, Houston at Texas State. They should run all over Texas State, mop those boys up, get a big win. If you're Houston, all you can do is continue to win games. Even though that win over Oklahoma in week 1 doesn't look that great anymore, all you can do is continue to win and hope that when you get to Louisville later in the season, they're still undefeated, which will give you a shot at getting into the playoffs. But you got to keep winning if you're Houston. Should do that against Texas State. Number 7, Stanford versus UCLA. They're on the road. It's Stanford. Tough environment to go play at UCLA. That's Pac-12 football. That's going to be tough. Wouldn't be surprised at all if UCLA won this football game. Josh Rosen, young quarterback with a lot of talent. We'll see. I think Stanford's going to find a way to win, but wouldn't shock me in the least if they went to UCLA and laid an egg. Number 11, Wisconsin at number 8, Michigan State. One of the big matchups in this week of college football. One of my box games. 2 ranked teams playing against one another. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on the slate. This should be good football. It's Big Ten football, so it's going to be a little slow, a little sluggish, kind of ugly. It's going to be mucked up. But Michigan State's at home. They're the better team. They should win this game. They're coming off a big win versus Notre Dame on the road, knocking Notre Dame from the ranks of the unbeaten, or from the ranks of the ranked. And so Michigan State coming off of a big win. Let's see if they can follow that up with another big win versus another top 20 team, this time in number 11, Wisconsin, within their own conference. Number 9, Washington at Arizona. This is a trap game here. Arizona 2-1 on the season at home. Washington playing some good football. A lot of people like Washington in the Pac-12 to make some noise. We'll see. This is a game that they should win, but if they don't come with their A game, they could easily be upset here. They're in the top 10. They're quietly under the radar. Let's see if Washington can continue to play some good football. Number 17, Arkansas at number 10, Texas A&M. Another box game. Another one of these ranked opponent games. Love SEC football. I'm just a sucker for SEC football. And this is why, right here. Games like this. Seems like every game in the SEC features ranked opponents squaring off against each other. You can't hide in the SEC. You can hide in the Pac-12. You can hide in the ACC. You can hide in the Big 12. You can't hide in the SEC. East, West, I don't give a damn. You can't hide. If you're not good, you will be exposed at some point. Arkansas have been playing good football, but I think Texas A&M, they're the superior team. I expect them to win at home. They're the 10th ranked team in the nation. They earned that. Let's see if they can keep it going against Arkansas. Number 12, Georgia. At number 23, Ole Miss. Ole Miss 1-2 on the season. Not many times you're going to see a 1-2 team ranked in the top 25. But when your 2 losses are against teams who are also in the top 25, and when you lost to Florida State, they were the number 2 team in the nation, and when you lost to Alabama, and they still are the number 1 team in the nation, that's how you remain ranked. And so Ole Miss is actually favored in this game, if you can believe that, against number 12, Georgia, who may have solved their quarterback situation. I watched the end of that ball game. Their quarterback came of age, and it was good to see. And now, after one tough road test in the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs will go on the road yet again and face another tough SEC opponent, this time the Ole Miss football team coming off a big loss. We'll see if they're able to win yet again on the road. Kirby Smart pulling some strings. See if he can get it done on the road again. If they win this week, Georgia will be in the top 10 come next week. I can all but assure you of that. Florida State at USF. This is a trap game. USF at home. Those Florida boys love playing against one another. They play against each other all the time. They know one another. And USF, they're 3-0. And they're playing with confidence. Florida State, they're 2-1. And they're not playing with an abundance of confidence. And they have given up a bunch of points this year. Even in their win against Ole Miss, they gave up a ton of points. They gave up 63 last week in their loss to Louisville. They can be scored upon. Look out for USF in this game. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Florida, number 19 in the nation at number 14, Tennessee. This is where the buck stops for Tennessee. Even though they're at home, no Rocky Top in this game. All Gators chomping down on some Tennessee Vol meat in this game. Give me Florida to stop the inconsistencies of the Tennessee Vols in this ball game. They struggled for a while with Ohio just last week, did Tennessee, before running away with that game. I got Florida playing some tough, hard-nosed defense, getting it done on the road versus Butch Davis and his crew. Butch Jones. Give me Florida. Oklahoma State at number 16 Baylor. Oklahoma State is one Hail Mary away from being ranked and 3-0 on the season. Look out for them in this game. I don't expect them to beat number 16 Baylor, but if Central Michigan doesn't complete a crazy lateral Hail Mary for a touchdown as time expires, Oak State is 3-0 and they're ranked right now, and they might be favored in this game. Instead, they're 2-1 and they're just as dangerous, and I'm not sold on Baylor yet. So this is a trap game if I've ever seen one. But Baylor's at home. They should win. We will see. I warned you. You heard it here first. Number 18, LSU at Auburn. LSU doing some things. They looked a lot better on offense. They changed quarterbacks. Maybe they're turning the corner. We'll see. Auburn had some tough luck, played some tough games, and they lost to Clemson. Could have won that game. Had a tough one that they just lost. I want to say it was Texas A&M. If not Texas A&M, it was Mississippi State, one or the other. I think it was Texas A&M. They've had some tough games already early in the season. They're 1-2, but they're still dangerous. And if LSU doesn't come with their A game, they can lose to Auburn. Number 20, Nebraska. Big win. I talked about that game versus Oregon last week. And I told you that the Nebraska Cornhuskers were favored in that game, and they came out on top. Oregon going for 2 on all 5 of their touchdowns, only converting 1 of them, losing the game by 3. You roll the dice, and they don't come up nice, you can lose a football game. They're playing Northwestern. At Northwestern. They should win that game. Northwestern struggling this year. But it's still conference football. Be careful. Coming off of an emotional win, you can have a letdown. If you're Nebraska, don't have that game this week versus Northwestern. And finally, USC at number 24, Utah. This is on Friday, so if you have nothing to do, turn on the TV. There's some college football. Utah hosting USC. Utah's at home. They're the better team. USC is struggling. Get the win. Continue the momentum you've built thus far in the season if you're Utah. So, some big wins by some teams last week. Michigan State beating Notre Dame on the road catapults them into the top 10. They were 12 last week. They're 8 now. Louisville, talked about that win over Florida State, dropping Florida State all the way down to number 13, catapulting Louisville all the way up to number 3 in the country. Ohio State beating the brakes off of Oklahoma. They're off this week, destroying them, dismantling Oklahoma, who is now ranked number 25. After starting the season out at 3, 2 beatdowns later, Oklahoma is now barely in the top 25. And also Texas, after building a lot of momentum early in the season, huge win versus Notre Dame, followed that up with another impressive blowout victory, lose at Cal, and that was a game I told you about as well, that was a trap game. Lose at Cal in a high-scoring affair. They're now ranked 21st after being as high as number 11 a week ago. So, that's your college corner. Now, let's jump into something I like to call finger pointing. Nobody wins when you start assigning blame. But oh, what the hell. Let's play that game. Finger pointing. All right. So, what finger pointing essentially is, it's a bad exercise in blaming somebody for something. Look, I said this in the intro. Nobody wins when you finger point. But oh, what the hell? Let's do it anyway. Let's play that game. Let's finger point. So, a couple of teams lost, some close, some not so close. Let's finger point, shall we? I'm going to let you guys decide who's to blame for all of these teams that I have on this list. So if you're out there listening, I need you to vote. I need you to tell me who is to blame. Before we get to that, though, I'm going to read some of your comments. Andrew Kim says, have you watched Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech? Not sure if he will declare, but watching last week looks good. Man, he is athletically gifted. Has a strong arm to go with it. Still needs to learn the nuances of the quarterback position, but man, is this guy athletic. I actually ran into him last year watching players that came out, including LaRaven Clark, their left tackle, and DeAndre Washington, who was drafted by the Raiders. So in watching them, I stumbled upon Patrick Mahomes last year. Yes, that guy is uber talented. Plays in a wide open offense, though. He runs around, makes plays. Not sure if he's structured enough for my liking, but we'll see. Brian Emerson says, just submitted my week 3 predictions. If you don't mind, can you check them out? I will do that at some point. B.E. All right, so let's get to finger pointing. Raiders lose at home to the Atlanta Falcons. Who's to blame? You've got 4 choices, and I'll give you a little context as to why these choices are available. A, the offense. They go for it on 4th and 1. They don't convert. At the time, the score was 28-21. If they punt the football, maybe they get a stop, maybe they don't. But if they punt the football, pin the Falcons deep, they may get a shot. Instead, they go for it. The offense doesn't convert, running the football and coming up short. B, the defense. Last week, they surrendered 34 points, but the offense bailed them out with a 2-point conversion and a win. This week, they give up 35 points, and they lose the football game 35-28. Is the defense to blame? Needing a stop late, having a chance to get the football back to the offense. They allowed the Falcons to convert on 3rd and 5 and lose the football game. And finally, coaching. Is coaching to blame for this loss? They went for it on 4th and 1. They didn't get it from midfield. The defense doesn't seem to be able to stop anybody. Is coaching to blame for this Raiders loss? Or is it special teams? Gave up a big punt return to Eric Weems to set up a score. Bad snap on a field goal right before the half that cost them 3 points. Is special teams to blame? You tell me. If I had to put my finger pointed at somebody, I'm picking the defense. Can't give up 34 one week, 35 the next, and expect to win consistently in this league. Just not going to happen. Jags blown out in San Diego. 35-14. And the game wasn't even that close. That score, very misleading. So, with that said, problems currently in Jacksonville. Who's to blame? A, Gus Bradley. B, Blake Bortles. C, the roster. D, the culture. Or E, all of the above. Initially, it was just A for me. I'm starting to think that Gus Bradley doesn't have the right message for this team anymore. Then I started to think maybe it's D, the culture. Maybe they're just losers and don't know how to get out of that mindset and that frame of mind of losing. Then I said, damn, Blake Bortles still making the same damn mistakes he was making last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. So now I'm starting to say to myself, is it all of the above? I don't think it's this roster though. So with that being said, if I had to pick one, I'd go with Gus Bradley. A, for the win. Gus Bradley doesn't seem to have a good pulse of what's going on, how to use his players, how to manipulate this roster to get W's. He looks lost on the sidelines. When they were getting their ass whooped by the Chargers, all Gus Bradley could do was put his hands on his knees and look like a man who wanted out. Somebody come and rescue me, please. Well, you keep putting out performances like this, and they will come and put you out of your misery in Jacksonville. The Detroit Lions, they lose to the Titans at the crib. 16-15. Yuck. Who's to blame there? You only scored 15 points. Is it the coaching staff's fault? A? Is it B, the offense's fault? 15 points shouldn't win you that many games in this league. C, is it the officials? I thought that was a really bad game for the officials. 17 penalties on the Lions, 12 penalties on the Titans, 29 total. One shy of the NFL record, and there were a bunch of penalties that were declined. So you're talking about over 30 some odd flags in that game. 29 of them accepted. Yeah, you can blame the officials if you want. Or D, the defense. And how can you blame the defense when you only give up 16 points? Here's how. You're up 15-10. All you got to do is get a stop. You got the Titans 4th and goal from the 6. Get a stop. You let Andre Johnson catch the football in double coverage. Could have won the game. So is it the defense's fault? Is it D, the defense? With that one, I'm going to go with the officials, man. They were pretty bad. I thought they impacted this game greatly. Too much so, to the point where you couldn't ignore the officials. I hate when teams allow the officials to become a part of the game. Don't allow them to even have an impact. They can make bad calls, but if you take care of business, you'll render those calls irrelevant. Well, they didn't in this game. And I thought the officials made too many bad calls for the Lions to overcome. I'm going with C, the officials. Redskins lose to a rookie quarterback. Redskins are now 4-10 since 2006 versus rookie quarterbacks. Ouch. They once were 0-8, so they are a lot better now than they once were, but still, supposed to beat rookies. So who you blaming? A, the coaching staff. Big discrepancy between running and passing in this game. A couple of opportunities in the red zone to run. They decided to throw fades. We saw how that turned out. Kirk Cousins. Not his best game. An interception in the end zone that cost the Redskins a scoring opportunity. Some missed opportunities on some deep balls for some touchdowns. And some poor throws throughout the course of the game. And the defense. Look, much like the Lions, Redskins were up 23-20 late in this ball game. You get a stop, you probably win this game. But they let the Cowboys march 80 yards, couple of penalties, and an Alfred Morris punctuation that stung the Redskins 27-23. So do you blame the defense? C. Or D? All of the above. How can you not say D? Every single one of those culprits had their hand in this loss. The coaching staff were miserable. Kirk Cousins was off, missed some throws, missed some opportunities. And the defense, well, they were the defense. They stink. Who knows? Bucks get annihilated in Arizona out in the desert, man. Yikes. So who we pointing the finger at here? Who's to blame on this one? A, wasn't ready. B, Jameis Winston and the offense. J-Bo threw 4 of them things. 4 INTs. One of those went back to the crib. House call. Bring, bring. C, the defense. You get a 40 burger put on your skull. Defense got to have some part. Got to be somewhat culpable, right? D, wasn't ready. Or E, all of the above. I think we know what the answer is there. It was E. They weren't ready. Jameis Winston and the offense wasn't ready. The defense wasn't ready. They weren't ready. And they weren't ready. That's your answer for that one. See what you guys got to say. And then we're going to get out of here, man. It's been a long night. I need a drink. See. Hey, how about that? No comments. Let's check Twitter. See if y'all gonna let me off the hook that easy. And no comments on Twitter. So, your Man Louie Tee is done. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. That's going to do it for the Week 3 edition of Louie Tee Live. We'll see you guys back here. Same channel, same place, not the same goddamn time. I'm going to be early. I'm going to be on time next week. I promise. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I will see you next week. Matter of fact, I'll see you on Thursday for Thursday Night Football Overtime. Until then, I'm your man Louie Tee, signing off. Have a great night.
Broncos won the Super Bowl when Peyton Manning retired. 49ers won 5 games.